Hi again to all from WAOC. I'm your host, Marty T. Hawkins, and I'm glad you decided to spend a few minutes with us talking about our light industrial careers. Now, I was going to speak to logistics today, but, well, I had a few conversations this week that pushed me to kind of rethink that. Oh, and for all the WAOC subscribers out there, I have to apologize for the technical difficulties with last week's episode. It appears one podcast player did not pick up Thursday's upload. After working with our webmaster, we got it worked out yesterday. So here's a few thoughts that sidetracked me this week. I heard this and it made me think of how things have changed and are changing. Imagine dedicating 30 years to a company, showing up day after day, hitting productivity goals, mentoring new hires, and contributing to your company's overall success. For many, retirement after such a journey should really feel monumental. But for one associate, the final day felt kind of hollow, missing the celebration and acknowledgment that they had envisioned they were going to receive. Where was the recognition from the corporate officers? The grand send-off that symbolized the close of a long career? This associate story kind of echoes a growing sentiment among seasoned employees who feel their decades of loyalty really deserve more than a handshake or a final paycheck. For them, long-term commitment once meant job stability and a reliable income, and that was enough. However, in today's workplace, both employees and employers face new expectations around the job's recognition and that daily acknowledgement. So what has changed, and why has it changed? Today, let's talk about this evolution of workplace recognition and how shifts in corporate culture, generational values, and that day-to-day workplace expectations play into how employees today perceive appreciation and value. You know, decades ago, work culture placed a high value on stability. Employees often found immense satisfaction in having a steady paycheck with benefits and the assurance that their job provided for their family's needs. Recognition was simple and often linked directly to our performance. A thank you during a meeting, a small bonus at the end of the year, or a promotion based on consistent output. Most employees saw these acknowledgments as a fair exchange for their work, and grand gestures at retirement just weren't really expected. Today's workplace environment, however, has shifted, I would say, significantly. People look for a deeper sense of appreciation, especially around career milestones. Employees today want to feel seen not only for their work, but also for the years they invested in building a, legacy within the company. The rise of social media and interconnected networks allows workers to see how other companies celebrate retirements, promotions, and different types of achievements, kind of further raising expectations for acknowledgement, I think. A simple thank you may feel less meaningful if employees know other companies offer those personalized mementos, gatherings with company leaders, or even social media shout-outs that publicly celebrate years of service. These added touches feed into the modern expectation that employees deserve a tangible acknowledgement, for their contributions. And really of their contributions. One place I know of acknowledges birthdays and anniversaries, and it's a big deal. In today's evolving work culture, traditional expectations are mixed with newer ones, sometimes creating a mix of differing priorities. Employees, especially newer generations, seek an environment that not only offers fair compensation, but also considers lifestyle needs and personal flexibility. Benefits such as fair share programs, options to leave early on a rotating basis, and perks like stocked break rooms with free or maybe deeply discounted snacks reflect a trend towards a more employee-centered workplace. However, these new benefits can present challenges in structured environments like warehousing, where the operations rely heavily on coordination, timing, and predictability, productivity, and metrics. When one team member leaves early or starts late, it can disrupt the whole workflow, affecting the entire team's productivity. For warehouse associates who've built their careers on consistency and routine, seeing these newer expectations can be confusing, especially when flexibility isn't feasible for every role. This culture shift means managers are tasked with balancing individual needs with the team's operational requirements. This evolving dynamic has led some associates to see benefits and flexibility as expected rather than additional perks. For example, real quick, while flexible schedules may work well in certain roles, many warehouse positions rely on those hard start times, shift startup meetings, and things like that to ensure that cases, pallets, and orders flow smoothly through the building. That structure is foundational in warehousing, where efficiency and safety are paramount and really priority one. Rules around attendance, tardiness, and procedures were historically essential to maintaining a predictable environment where employees could rely on each other. Safety procedures, attendance expectations, and time-sensitive workflows weren't just guidelines. They were the rules of a well-functioning, safe workplace. With today's cultural shift, some associates might view rules as, negotiable, or as suggestions, challenging managers to enforce them without seeming too rigid. Allowing flexibility is valuable, but it can also blur the boundaries of what's expected and lead to inconsistencies. This is really especially true when new associates see rules as adjustable rather than established principles. Long-term employees who remember the importance of clear-cut rules can feel disillusioned, seeing the erosion of what they valued as core workplace expectations. In this challenging landscape, it's crucial to reinforce why rules matter. They aren't merely suggestions, they're safeguards that ensure everyone's safety, the efficiencies, and mutual respect of each other. Flexibility, while very appealing, must be balanced with the operational needs of the workplace to ensure that structure remains intact. I get it. Recognition at retirement is important to us, particularly for long-serving employees. Leaving behind a career they've committed decades to isn't simply about ending a job. It's about closing a significant chapter of their lives. These employees often seek more than just a paycheck. They want validation for the years that they've invested. For many, retirement feels like a finalization of purpose, and an understated farewell can leave us feeling a bit shortchanged. Historically, retirement recognition was simpler, and the paycheck served as a, symbolic acknowledgement of that hard work and one's loyalty. However, today, associates often crave personal and public acknowledgement that validates that long journey that they've had. Small gestures like a personal message from a company officer, a farewell event, or some kind of a gift can make a lasting impression. Things like that can create a sense of closure for us, honoring not just the work we've done, but the dedication and sacrifices we've made along the way. Companies may overlook these gestures, assuming regular pay and benefits are sufficient. But for retiring associates, these more personalized acknowledgments can address a need for closure and kind of a sense of belonging. Recognizing a retiring employee's career allows them to feel valued and appreciated beyond what their paycheck represents. Is it important? I don't really know myself. What's your thoughts? Maybe email us at host@warehouseandoperationsasacareer.com. I'm sure there's quite a few opinions out there. Oops, I got to get back to my points. Where am I at? Okay. The concept of work values has changed with each generation, impacting how employees view recognition, structure, and benefits. And it always has. For long-term associates, stability and a dependable paycheck have been the standard for a job well done. These employees worked through decades when loyalty and reliability were highly valued, and they accepted work, jobs, and careers as a commitment, labor, and skills in exchange for financial security. Younger employees, however, often value work a little differently. They prioritize balance, personal development, and benefits that support their well-being outside of work. Their view of a good job might include flexibility, acknowledgment, and mental health support alongside with that compensation. These employees aren't necessarily uninterested in stability, but they seek a workplace that adapts to their individual needs also. These differences can create different feelings in how employees perceive their company's role in their satisfaction and longevity. Like I mentioned earlier, those who grew up with strict expectations around attendance and structure may feel that newer associates are seeking special treatment rather than being team players. And on the other hand, newer employees may feel that traditional structures and rules are outdated, sometimes viewing requests for flexibility and acknowledgement as fundamental to a respectful workplace. So the question is, can traditional values or old school and modern expectations, a younger workforce, coexist in warehouse environments? Is there a way to honor and respect the long-standing principles that experienced employees hold dear while also meeting the evolving needs of newer associates? My answer is absolutely they can, and they always have. They have to. Culture will always be changing and evolving. Companies that succeed in bridging these gaps often do so by building programs that cater to and recognize both groups. This might mean offering flexibility where possible while reinforcing the importance of consistency in structure or rules. For retirees, it could mean an acknowledgement that goes beyond the basics, a personalized celebration that validates their years of service. For younger associates, it might mean balanced flexibility, clear communication around expectations, and acknowledgement of contributions throughout their career, not just at the end. For all you young managers out there, creating a culture of mutual respect is what will make you successful. When associates feel valued from their first day to their last, companies are better positioned to meet the needs of both veteran employees and the new boots. By open conversations, actively listening to different viewpoints, and embracing both traditional and modern recognition practices, you can ensure that every associate, regardless of tenure, feels appreciated and understood. Well, there's my 2 cents on an important subject. Share your thoughts with a quick email to host@warehouseandoperationsasacareer.com or start a conversation on Facebook or X using that little @ WHSEOPS. We'd love to hear from you. Until next week, be productive, be prosperous, and be safe.